Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my 2015 beauty favorites, which I actually had no intention to film until you guys requested it so highly on all my social media platforms. So I figured I would do it really fast, or I will try to do it really fast. Yeah, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start off by telling you guys, one, I'm going to talk as quickly as possible. So if this video makes your ear holes hurt from the quickness at which I speak, I'm sorry. There's just nothing I can do to cram a crap ton of information into a small 15, 20, 25, 30, 45 minute video. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Also, I'm going to do my damnedest not to talk about things that I've already talked about in favorites videos before, because I really did not experiment with makeup that much this year. It was a lot of tried and trues for me over and over again. I don't think I've talked about any of these before, but believe me when I tell you, I use them all stinking year. I really don't do a lot of favorites videos in general, but if you guys would like me to do more, thumbs up or comment below and I will get the show on the road for you. I'm going to attempt to do this in the order in which I would apply these to my face. So obviously we're going to start off with skincare. I'm not going to say too much about this. This is Paula's Choice Skincare. I did a whole dedicated video about it not too long ago. I will link it down below. I use these products all year. They changed my skin immediately from the first time I ever used them. It was a noticeable difference within a couple of days. I will link my full video down below just so you guys have an idea of all the amazing things I feel, think, experienced, and can show you that this product line has done for me. So check that out. I just wanted to bring it up because I would be lying if I said it wasn't a favorite product of 2015. And once again, that is the Paula's Choice Skincare line. Priming, skin prep, things like that, all the little zhuzh crap I gotta do before I can put my makeup on. First things first, I always have to put on some sort of tightening, brightening, smoothing eye cream of some sort. My eyes get really puffy. My eyes are already small and hooded, so when they get puffy, they look like sewn on buttons. So I have to combat that. This year, I have enjoyed the Benefit Puff Off. It is an instant gel to help smooth the look of puffiness. Some of this makeup's just gonna be dirty. I'm sorry. It's probably gonna drive some of y'all nuts, but I use this stuff. It gets dirty, and I'm not gonna sit there and scrub it before I put it on camera, so this might be a little dirty. The tip of it is metal. It's already really cooling to the eye, which is going to give you an immediate result. You could put spoons, you could put a cold compress, anything like that will kind of help with puffiness, but the gel inside of it as well definitely takes it to the next level. It brightens, it depuffs, it moisturizes. It's really great, and I like any kind of eye cream right now, especially because I bake my under eye area and that has to be moisturized or it will look really crepey and gross. So this is my favorite for the year, and once again, that's the Benefit Puff Off Instant Gel to help smooth the look of puffiness. Primers, I've kind of been into doing like a primer cocktail, if you will, meaning mixing two and putting certain ones in certain places. So all over my face, I like to go in with a hydrating primer because even though I am a little bit on the oily side, I do not want to deprive my skin of moisture, especially when I'm going to go in with, once again, cooking powders and things of that nature on my face. It can get to be too dry. Then I also like to take a mattifying one or a smoothing one and put that in very select areas on my face, mostly here on my cheeks, my forehead, my nose, my Cupid's bow area, and the bottom of my chin. That's where I get the most oily, and as far as my cheek area especially, that is where the bulk of my texture is. So this year I got into the Makeup Forever Skin Equalizer line. They have a crap ton of these things. There's literally something out there for everyone, and the moisturizing one that I've been enjoying is the Hydrating Base. I like this one, first of all, the smell of it. I really like the smell. It's very nice. Also, I like it because it is super hydrating, but it absorbs into the skin really quickly. It's not going to leave you feeling greasy, oily, or like your makeup is going to slip and slide all over it. So if you find that you are a little bit on the oily combination side and you want a hydrating primer, get this. Super dry people, I can't see this doing much for you, but like I said, for me, this was fantastic. Then I like to go in with the smoothing primer. I don't know if this is intended to be a mattifying primer, but it does keep me matte, or at least stop any natural oils from coming through and messing up my makeup throughout the day. Just put this, like I said, right here where I have the biggest of pores, my forehead, Cupid's bow, chin, whatever. Minimizes pores, feels great, doesn't break me out. It's an amazing product. This whole line in general so far, I'm really impressed with everything that I've tried. If you're in the market for a primer and you don't know where to start, I would check out these Makeup Forever ones because like I said before, they have so many for pretty much any problem you could have, and especially if you're like me and you like to mix primers together, you could definitely find yourself a nice little primer recipe if you check them out. So yeah, Makeup Forever at Sephora. So foundation wise, I'm not going to go too crazy in depth with anything because I am going to film a favorite high-end foundation video really soon. So I'm just going to touch on the two that really stood out to me and that I use the most. And then in my next video, I'll go even more in depth about them and also other foundations I've enjoyed this year. The first one I want to talk about is the Too Faced Born This Way Absolute Perfection Foundation. It says here on the bottle that it's oil free and my color is light beige. This one is a little too light for me though, so I'm gonna have to go get a darker one here pretty soon. But I bought this a few months ago and I was actually really apprehensive to try it. I was so apprehensive to try it that I literally kept the box and the receipt like right here on my vanity. So the second it didn't do what I wanted to do, I could take it back because the reviews were pretty mixed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I was thinking. This foundation is fabulous. It's amazing. I love everything about it. The finish to me, upon applying to the skin, at least on my skin, once again, dry oily combination, it just looks like the most natural, glowy skin ever. I mean, it doesn't look dewy like maybe something like a MAC Mineralized foundation or the Armani Luminous Silk. It just looks like skin. Like it's got this luminosity to it that doesn't make you look too overdone, too made up. The texture is amazing. The coverage is phenomenal. You do not need a lot to get a full coverage foundation if that's what you're into. It doesn't break me out. It doesn't get oily throughout the day. It doesn't photograph weird. It's a great, 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 great foundation. I know that you can get this at Ulta and Sephora, and I know, at least last I heard, they had like an expansion of their shade range, but as far as I know, it's only on the Too Faced website. So if you go to Ulta and Sephora and you feel like you can't find your shade, too light, too dark, go check out their actual website and see if you can find one on there, because that's something I know a lot of people were really excited about when they launched the expansion of the shades. But yeah, love this, love this, love this, love this. The foundation I got really into is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I mentioned in my last video that I used to be a die-hard, avid, non-stop, can't stop, won't stop Makeup Forever HD foundation user. I think it was the very first high-end foundation I ever bought in my life, to be honest. Makeup school, this is the foundation that was in our kit, so I had a lot of experience with the original formula. I was kind of nervous to try the new one because I was scared it wasn't going to be as great as I remember it, and luckily for me and for you, it is just as good as I remember it being. I really can't imagine a person who could not enjoy this foundation. They have a crap ton of shade ranges. That's kind of what the HD, line was well known for, is that on camera it would be invisible, A, because of the texture, finish, and formula, and B, because there's no way you can't find your color. I love this. If you guys are wondering, I'm 135. This also is a little bit too light for me right now, but a lot of you guys were asking in my last video. It's about, I would say it's a medium to full coverage, definitely buildable. It gives you like a natural satin finish. Doesn't break me out, lasts all day, all the things I look for in a foundation I have found in here. Very pigmented, don't need a lot to cover the whole face. It's amazing. Check her out if you haven't. Love it. I did try a few more drugstore foundations this year. I did a full review on the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte or whatever. I'll link that down below. One that I used this year and I really enjoyed, and I haven't done a full review on it yet, is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless foundation. A lot of people have been comparing this foundation to the Studio Fix Fluid from MAC. I don't really agree with that. I mean, maybe the coverage, I don't really see that, any other kind of similarity. That's just me. But what I really like about this foundation is that even though it is like a matte foundation, some traditional matte foundations, once you apply them and they set, they almost turn to like a powder. This one doesn't. It just locks and loads. Foundation can be a very scary thing to some people, but when you find a good one, it's amazing, especially if you're oily or combination like I am. This really lasts all day, no matter what circumstances I find myself in. This will be on my face and not move at all. The coverage is great. The finish is nice. It's a demi matte. I don't think it's a full-blown like powdery matte the way the L'Oreal Infallible is. It's got a nice collection of shade ranges. Doesn't break me out. It's amazing. Great for the price. Great in general. I'm pretty sure they get this poreless business from, because as I've said on my channel here a bazillion times, if you have texture on your skin, anything shimmery, dewy, glowy, or whatever, it's going to emphasize that. Matte in the areas of your face that you have texture is going to make your skin look so much smoother. So I think this is a great, 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 great way of getting that across using the words matte and poreless. That's why I picked it up in the first place, and it does make you look matte and poreless. I ain't mad at you, Maybelline. I'm in shade, I have several shades actually of this. I think this is 310 Sun Beige. This is my dark shade, so love it. As far as setting powder is concerned, there's only one that I really use this year, and that is the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. I think everybody jumped on the Laura Mercier Loose Powder bandwagon this year. I was one of the first, and I will probably be one of the last to get off of it, because I'm absolutely obsessed with this stuff. Doing the baking method pretty much all year. I really can't think of an exception to that. Baking for me works because of my skin type. It works because of my skin texture. It works because of how I do it. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing a full-blown video on it if you have any questions about baking, but this is a great powder to do it with. I like the color of it. Even though it is translucent, it does have a slight beige tint to it. I like the texture of it. It doesn't get chunky. It doesn't get like all gathery and light. It's not dry. It's not chalky. It's not dusty. It's a wonderful, wonderful powder. I think this is my third. It works amazing for baking, but it also works if I just put a little bit on my brush and just kind of dust it over my face to set the other areas of my face that I don't bake. I usually only bake underneath my eyes, bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, chin, forehead, blah, blah, blah. The rest of my face still has to be set with a little something on account of the fact that I'm oily, like I said. But I can just put a little bit of this all over my face and it works. It doesn't let any oil come through. It doesn't look cakey or heavy. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe a powder except for the fact that it's life-changing. That's all I really know what to say. It's dope. Check it out if you have not. It's worth the hype. As far as powder is concerned, I have to mention the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. There can be a little bit of confusion about what exactly these powders are. Some people use them as highlighters. I don't use them that way. I think there are some colors that are pigmented enough to use for that. I use them as finishing powders. Now, back up with me. So we know at this point that I use a mattifying primer in certain areas of my face. We know that I can't use an overly dewy foundation because I'm oily. We know I bake my makeup and I set most of it with a powder because I am oily and it will move. Now, all this matte crap on your face will kind of take away that super glowy fresh skin thing that everybody is into that I cannot get away with if I just did something like, you know how some people can use like Armani Luminous Silk Foundation on their face and like that's it and they just look glowy and gorgeous and it doesn't move? That would never happen to me. I would be a disgusting oil slick about 20 minutes after. So what I have found works for me is using these lighting powders on my brush all over my face because they're so finely milled and they are a finishing powder. They're intended to be put on top of your makeup as like a last step, as a finishing step in your process. What I like about them is depending on which one you use, it totally illuminates your face. It doesn't do that thing that I keep telling you guys shimmery things can do. It doesn't emphasize texture, doesn't make pores look bigger, it doesn't make you look older, it doesn't make you look glittery or oily or greasy. It just looks super like J-Lo glowy all over the mug and I freaking love these things. I have two full sizes and I have the lighting palette. I think this is the first one they came out with and I don't know if you can tell, but they're basically all gone. It'd be really difficult for me to swatch these because you just have to see them in action. And honestly, I even use them on camera a lot and I don't think on camera it shows what they're capable of doing. So if you are an oily person and you cannot use glowy, luminous, luminous, anything because it makes you an oily grease monster ball like it makes me, but you still want to look glowy, this is a very particular group of people I'm talking to right now. These are for you. They're amazing. Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders are probably like one of, if not my favorite makeup product of 2015 altogether. And I know that's a bold statement. I have completely gone off course with going in the order of which I apply stuff, so now I'm just gonna start grabbing stuff. As far as highlighters are concerned, the highlighter, oh, this is filthy. Told y'all my makeup was gonna be dirty, don't judge me. So this is the Laura Mercier Highlight 01. If you watched my videos this year at all, you've seen it about a million times, roughly a million times, give or take. And this is supposed to be like a matte baked rate. I don't know why it's called matte. It's not even a little bit matte, but it is beautiful. And I freaking love it. I've used it a million times this year and I've had it forever. I think I've had this for 2 years and I don't know what made me just pull it out and become obsessed with it the way that I did. I like it because as far as highlights are concerned, I don't like something that looks, how do I say this? You know how some girls highlight and you can see it? I don't mean you can see the glow. I mean you can see a definite difference in texture or like the finish of their skin from where their highlight is and where the rest of their makeup is. And I think it's the formula of the highlighter that does that. I can't really explain what I'm trying to say, but I see it all the time. This is like the smoothest, most finely milled, soft, beautiful, glowy, lit from within, amazing highlighter ever. I love it. Kicked all my Becca highlighters out. It kicked Bobbi Brown highlighters out. I'm sure I'll revisit them, calm down. But this one, me and you, buddy. Me and you. Once again, Laura Mercier Highlight 01 Baked Radiance Highlighting Powder. Blush, only one blush came in and swept me off my feet and made me feel like a schoolgirl again. And that was Milani Luminoso. I don't understand why no high-end brands have come out with a blush this amazing. I don't understand it. Milani did it and they did it better than anyone. It's the most beautiful, like peachy, corally. Oh, I can see it right now. I'm about to hit pan on it. I don't think I've ever done that on a blush before. Ever. So I don't know if that's saying something, but it is to me. Wearing it right now all over my cheeks. I imagine this would look really good on pretty much everyone from fair to medium skin tones. The color of it is like a light wash of color. It's glowy. It blends out amazing. It's got a nice like illuminating glowy factor to it without going too far, because y'all know I don't like glowy blush for the most part, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's drugstore. The price is right. It's great. Check it out, Milani Luminoso. Eyeshadow. I'm going to talk a little bit about some palettes and then a little bit about particular eyeshadows that I've been super into this year, and I'm going to start off with the one that I think I use the absolute most, and that is Always Sunny Pro Longwear eyeshadow from MAC. I pretty much put this eyeshadow on every single day. Every single day it is my upper crease transition color because it works with my skin tone. I think the mistake some of us can make when it comes to getting a really blended eyeshadow look, having their transition color be a little bit too dark for them. So even if you wanted to go in with something like Always Sunny and then a little bit lower below that, go in with something like a saddle or something, which is what I do. I wear those two together all the time. It still is very blended, but it doesn't look as harsh. Like on me, if I just took saddle in my crease by itself, it would look too dark. It wouldn't blend out as seamlessly as it does if I put this on first, just buffing quickly in the upper crease. Watch any of my videos this year, you'll see it in action. I freaking love this eyeshadow. It's Pro Longwear, so it's super pigmented, blends out amazing, pigmented, buttery, beautiful, permanent. Another good thing about it, it's a permanent color at MAC. I love it. It's such a simple, basic shadow, but it's these kind of colors and these kind of formulas that will become staples in your makeup routine and therefore be good enough to be called a yearly favorite. So yeah. Anyway, once again, Always Sunny, Pro Longwear, MAC. Another eyeshadow I used the living crap out of was NARS Coconut Grow. It's a matte, really dark, cool tone brown eyeshadow, which you wouldn't think you could use pretty much every day, but I did because I use it almost always in place of black. I use it to deepen out the outer corner. I use it to smoke out the lash line. I use it all over the lid as a smoky eye. As you can tell, I hit pan on him. I love this color. Love, 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 love this color. I don't think I own anything like it. There's no other eyeshadow I have, be it in a palette, be it single, be it drugstore, be it high-end, that is quite like this. I imagine that when I run out, I will continue to replace this from now until eternity. It is an absolute love of my life staple, and that is once again Coconut Grove by NARS. Other eyeshadows that I really, really, really use a lot this year are the Urban Decay, what are these called? Are the Urban Decay glitter eyeshadows. I can't remember exactly what they're called. I'll leave it somewhere in here what the actual name of this type of eyeshadow they create is called, but they're basically just like gorgeous, almost like pressed glitter. If you like MAC pressed pigments, you might even like these a little bit more. I know that I do. I think I have most of the colors that they make. I might be missing a couple, but I'll change that eventually. I use these on top of other eyeshadows all the time. Like for example, this Space Cowboy color is a gorgeous beige, like it almost looks wet, doesn't it? Like, oh, it's so pretty. Just beigey, iridescent, you know, run-of-the-mill lid color, or so you think, until you put it on. If I put this on top of the eyeshadow I have all over my lid right now, it would just take it to another place. I use this one a lot. I use Moonspoon a lot because it's a gray silvery color. I think I used this in a tutorial before, and I will link that down below. I love the Diamond Dog one. It's a really pretty brown. You could use this for a brown smoky eye just to take it a little bit, you know, in another direction. The green one, Zodiac, is just, oh, please stop. Please just stop with your beauty. Excuse your beauty. I love this one. I have a green smoky eye tutorial coming up that I use this in. It's stunning. So yeah, I love these eyeshadows. I hope they come out with crap tons more. It's an awesome formula. It's an awesome idea. I love them. Some individual eyeshadows, once again, Urban Decay took the cake with me, and this color called Sin. Sin is actually in the Naked palette. So if you have it, you don't have to run out and get this one, but I wanted to get it just for travel purposes. It's once again another pretty pinky beigey highlighting, you know, all over the lid color. Similar, actually I do have this on today. I just love it. It's a no-brainer. It's gorgeous. It's glowy. The formula is nice. It doesn't crease and it's not chunky. Sometimes all over the lid colors can get a little creasy and chunky. This one doesn't do that to me. It's amazing and individual. Standout for me, once again, is Sin by Urban Decay. Check her out. In terms of palettes, I only have 2 to talk about. I have more that I want to talk about, but I think they're limited edition, and I don't want to talk about them in case they're already gone. One palette that is permanent, at least as far as I know, is the Tarte Tarteless palette. I got this one a little bit later in the game as opposed to, I don't know, pretty much everybody else. If you like neutral colors, if you like matte eyeshadows, if you are building an eyeshadow collection, if you already have an eyeshadow collection, if you have eyeballs, you should get this palette. It has 12 beautiful matte shades. They range from warm to cool to neutral. There's some mauvey, purpley tones. There's dark browns, there's a black, there's creams, there's transition colors, there's a gray. It's just, if you're traveling, you can take something like this palette and then this eyeshadow, Sin by Urban Decay, and this would be all you would need. You can make a beautiful eye look with it. I love this palette. They have a new one. It's the Tartelette in Bloom, and I think those colors are a little bit more on the warm, and there's even some shimmery tones in it. I am picking that one up, please believe. But yeah, if you haven't grabbed the Tarte Tartelette, it is another thing that has been absolutely worth every single bit of hype that it's had, and you should check it out. Another palette, this is actually from SONIA KASHUK, which is a drugstore brand you could get at Target. This is the Eye on Neutral Matte Palette. I have never seen in my life any drugstore company at all not only come out with good matte shades, they rarely even come out with matte colors at all, but good matte shades in a palette in a vast array of colors that are blendable, pigmented, and amazing. Never seen it until now. I've had this palette a little over a year. I don't use it on camera that much because I'm trying to come up with a tutorial that I could just use the contents of this palette, or at least mostly the contents of this palette. But like I said, the fact that it's drugstore and it's so pigmented is just, it's amazing to me. It's great for any budget. I want to say this was like maybe 10, 15, it can't be more than $20. It's a permanent item with SONIA KASHUK as far as I'm concerned. She has several other palettes, but this really just stands alone for me. If you really want to see a tutorial with it, let me know down below. That rhymed, and I will get that going for you, but highly recommend checking it out. And not just for girls who are on a budget, but if you like eyeshadow, this is a good option. It's really, really nice. Contour colors, I really only used one, and you can probably tell by how skimpy and pan hit how much I hit pan. What? You can probably tell by how little of it is left. And this is Harmony from MAC. It's actually a blush, but I think on fair to medium tan skin tones, this is the most perfect contour color ever. And I'll tell you why. Because when we do a contour, we have several things that we kind of want to have in place. We want the color to be a little bit ashy because a shadow is ashy. It's not orange, it's not warm, it's ashy, but we don't want it to be too gray. We want it to be similar to the color of skin. We want it to be pigmented, we want it to be blendable, and this is all of that in one. The kind of grayish undertone of it, coupled with the fact that it's got a little bit of a pink undertone to it, makes it look like skin. It makes it look like a real shadow, like a real contour. I freaking love this. I've had it forever. I forgot about it, and then when I revisited it, I came back to it this year, I was completely shocked how neglected and, you know, misused and ignored this little beaut has been, but never again. Me and this guy forever. Harmony, it's a blush. It's not a pro product. You can get it anywhere. It's amazing. Check her out. As far as eyeliner is concerned, I don't normally go too ham sandwich with that, but I did get these this year and I want to let you know about them. The Lancome Drama Liquid Pencil Extreme Long Wear Eyeliner, and they are exactly that. They are so long wearing. I can't even tell you. Like this swatch I'm putting on my hand right now, I'm going to rue the day that I did it because it's going to take forever to get off. This purple right here is absolutely stunning. I got these one day in the mail from Lancome. They were super nice to send them to me. And I just went bananas, just drawing swatches all over my arm, willy-nilly, having a great time. And they were there all day. I had to go to work like that. I couldn't get them off with a makeup wipe. I couldn't get them off with soap and water. They do not move. They're super creamy. They come in a crap ton of colors. Like this is only a portion of the colors that I have. What makes these amazing is not only for using them like in the waterline or to smudge out the lash line as you would a normal eyeliner, but because of the texture of them, you could totally use these as an eyeshadow base as well. Typically I only use things like a cream eyeshadow or a paint pot or something like that. but these are creamy and emollient enough that you could really just get them on the lid and then blend them out with a brush, and you could use them as an eyeshadow base and they would not move. They're wonderful, wonderful products. I have not heard anyone talk about them and I don't understand how that's possible. And that's once again the Lancome Drama Liquid Pencil Extreme Longwear Eyeliner. I bet they have like 50 colors. They have a lot. They're beautiful. Check them out. For me this year, lipstick was all about, not even just for me, I think everyone kind of hopped on this bandwagon and hasn't jumped off since. Nor do I see that happening anytime soon. But anyway, everybody and their mother has been all about liquid lipsticks this year. I was all about them last year. Not to be that guy about it, but last year when I did my yearly favorites, I talked about liquid lipsticks and how much I adore and obsess over them. And this year we just got lucky and so many companies came out with them. I mean, everyone came. MAC has some coming out. I think they're coming out on Thursday. I'm gonna have to go get my paws on that. But anyway, really the only ones I tried this year were ColourPop, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and Dose of Colors. I love every single one of them that I've tried. I really do. As far as ColourPop is concerned, I think I have the most colors from them. Not only because I really like their shade selection, but they're so stinking cheap. I want to say they're like $7, $8, $6, somewhere between $6 to $10. I know it's super reasonable. It's super, super inexpensive. And I like the formula. Everyone you talk to or have talked to you on a YouTube video is going to have a preference about liquid lipstick formulas. For me, I like them to be thin, like really thin, can't feel them at all. Some people find those to be the most drying kind, but I don't like to feel them at all. So ColourPop for me is like water thin. And because it's got a watery consistency, you do kind of have to build it up sometimes. It can be a little patchy on certain colors. I've made it work every single time and they don't move at all. Like, it doesn't matter what I eat, doesn't matter what I drink, they don't move at all. Period. Dot. Astronaut. Love them. ColourPop. Leave them down below. You've probably all heard about it, but just letting you know anyway. So for Anastasia's liquid lipsticks, I have really enjoyed them. I actually have on one right now. I'm wearing American Doll, which is a vivid retro 50s red. I absolutely love it. I've worn it a lot. Red is definitely my favorite color of lipstick. And Seraphine and American Doll have been constantly on my lips, but she has a lot of other ones I've really enjoyed. I do love these. I love the colors. The packaging is just elegant. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills makeup in general, but the formula of this to me is moussey, like a mousse, like the mousse texture. I think sometimes as a result, they wear off a little bit quicker than my other liquid lipsticks. Not the end of the world, but like I said, everyone has their preferences for formulas. She brings out new launches, I think, seasonally. And then if you get on the website, she'll bring back colors that were out of stock. I'm still trying to get my hands on Dusty Rose, know what I'm saying? But I really did like these this year as well. Wore them out. As far as Dose of Colors goes, they have a lot of colors that I really want to try. But when they brought back Stone, I like hunched over my computer for hours. Refresh, refresh, refresh. I was gonna get one way or the other. I did. I ordered 2 so I'd have a backup. But sadly enough, I don't think I like Stone as much as I hoped that I would. I imagine maybe during the spring or summer I'd get really into it. It's a super pretty muted dusty rose color. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm just not that into it right now. What I do love, and I have worn, I can't even tell you how many times, is Truffle from Dose of Colors. It's a nude that's like a pinky beigey mauve. It's a perfect nude. Liquid lipsticks, I think where some companies can mess up with a liquid lipstick is if the color is too pale and you put it all over your lips, and let's say your lips have any texture at all, it's gonna cling on and emphasize the ish out of that. This color is nude enough and just dark enough so it does not do that. Your lips look plump and pouty and smooth. It lasts all day. I love the formula. I wear it by itself. I wear it with lip gloss on top of it. I've seriously worn this damn near anytime you've seen me in a nude lip this year. I would say there's a 75% chance it was this. I love this color. It's amazing. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I really wasn't planning on filming a 2015? Yeah. I really wasn't planning on filming a 2015 favorites video, Mostly because, like I said, I didn't try a whole lot of new stuff. But I will this year, and I will have really informative, hopefully targeted reviews for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. It's the best way to stay in touch with me and my uploads and what's coming up next. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you want to see, if there's any particular products you have questions about, or if you want to tell me your favorites. I would love to find out what they are. In the meantime, I will catch you in the next one, and I love you more than you will ever know. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this fun sparkly party makeup that I'm wearing right now. It's very sparkly, a little bit on the cool tone side, and I paired it with some glossy nude lip